Chusit yak sa inchat histak shit hoset. Hello, it's inchat here, otherwise known as Sean Atleo from the Ahousaht First Nation, coming to you from unceded Algonquin territories, the National Office of the Assembly of First Nations here in Ottawa, providing the update for the month of May. It has been a very active month with lots of travel. Really honored to have been invited by in the last few days, in fact, the chiefs from the Atlantic region, spending time in Moncton, meeting with the chiefs, talking about important issues there, education conference held by Atlantic education professionals as well. Prior to that, in northern Quebec on the Labrador border and Innu territory and Niskapi territory, pleased to meet with the chiefs up in their region, Chief Riel Mackenzie's area in Shefferville. And prior to that, really important events in Treaty 5 territory. A major event held by Grand Chief Stan Beardy and Treaty 5 leaders as they approach the 100-year commemoration of Treaty 5. And so really appreciating the invitations to spend time with chiefs and councils and with students and with elders in their communities. Also, it's a real honor to host people here at our office in Ottawa. We hosted travelers. School groups came from the Montana First Nations, from Alberta. Thank you. And we look forward to visit from Kettle and Stony Point students from Ontario. I wish I could have been here to welcome you. But nonetheless, we look forward to visits by others to come to the office. And I'm very excited whenever we have young people, especially students, coming in. Particularly as education is a key priority, and thankfully the leaders across the country have made it so. In fact, we have issued a call to action on education to all First Nations and to all Canadians, the goal of which is First Nations control of First Nations education. We need support for our students and institutions to ensure their success, and there is a role for everyone, particularly the youth, the young people, the students. We're looking for support and guidance from the elders, from education institutions, from all levels of government, federal, provincial, and territorial, reaching out for support from corporate Canada and from philanthropic organizations who do incredible work not only here in Canada, but we know Canada is known for its reaching out to peoples around the world. And we have many very important and good reasons to act. Of course, the first of which is our rights, our treaty rights, our Title rights, to build strong economies. It's also a matter for fairness for our people. And we know very clearly that a strong First Nations makes for a much stronger Canada as well. Our plan for education is framed by the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, which has as the principles of partnership and mutual respect. The Declaration frames all of our work, in fact, and the Government of Canada is committed to endorsing the Declaration in a speech from the throne that was made recently in March. I had the great privilege to recently attend the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues at the United Nations headquarters in New York. These meetings took place April 19th to the 30th. Very exciting that on the opening day, a minister from the New Zealand government announced a reversal in their original position, and they came out to announce their support for the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. That happened on April 19th, followed very closely by an announcement by the United States that it will review its position on the Declaration, and they will do so in consultation with tribal leaders and others from the United States. And so congratulations to Indigenous peoples around the world for their very hard work. We look forward to working with Canada to give life to the Declaration here. I was very honored as well, while in New York at the UN, to participate in a North American panel. There, I was able to bring forward the instructions of the chiefs across Canada to raise issues of treaties, of citizenship, of comprehensive land claims, border rights, water rights, and the tragedy of missing and murdered women and girls. Calling on the UN as well, that the UN Special Rapporteur on the Situation of Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms of Indigenous Peoples to visit Canada to monitor the critical issue of violence against women. We look forward to a positive and substantive response to our presentation that we made in New York. The officials, the commissioner for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, Willie Littlechild, was also in New York. And on the Truth and Reconciliation, we know that as we look forward, we can't forget the past, and this includes the important and very difficult legacy of the residential schools. The first Truth and Reconciliation event will take place June 16th in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and we're looking forward to being there and be very honored to participate and witness this event. Winnipeg is also going to be the host for the Annual General Assembly, July 20th to the 22nd. And the theme for this year's Assembly of First Nations Annual General Assembly is Where the Nations Meet. Winnipeg is a great location, as it's a very traditional gathering place for our people, a very historic site. The draft agenda for the Assembly can be found on the Assembly of First Nations website, and the deadline for draft resolutions is June 18th. Check the AFN website regularly for information and updates. Also wanted to touch base briefly on our new Facebook page and our email list. The Assembly of First Nations is using every avenue to improve our communication. AFN has a Facebook page with information, pictures, videos, and discussion forums. Subscribe to our AFN email feed as well for all of our latest up-to-date information. Sign up at the website at afn.ca. While there, link to the Facebook page and the AFN Twitter feed as well. Thanks for taking the time. Chu, tleko, tleko.